Okay, ladies and gentlemen, today on this episode of Scott Tyler, I'm going to be showing you a couple tips and tricks that I've learned over the past couple of years on how to use the Galaxy S21, things that can improve your overall experience. So without further ado, subscribe, like this video, share it with your best friend or family member, and let's hop into the tips and tricks.
So the first tip or trick on this list is going to be revolving around Samsung Pay. So we all know those awkward situations where you get to a store and you don't have your wallet on you, don't have cash on you, and you don't know how to pay. So the good thing with Samsung Pay, similar to Apple Pay and Google Pay, and honestly Samsung Pay works with the most vendors in the United States and I think globally as well. All you have to do is just tap your phone right on the card swiping device at any retail store, grocery store, I don't know, retail store, anything like that, bank, whatever. So basically what you do is you tap it, or any restaurant as well. You basically add your own card. In addition to that, you can also add a PayPal card, which is really interesting. So if you don't have a dedicated credit or debit card, you can create a PayPal debit card in the app and basically link it to your Samsung Pay account and just use your PayPal account, which takes funds directly from your bank or your debit card, something like that. Super useful, and it's super easy to set up. One of the utilizations I use for Samsung Pay is on my Gear Sport watch, which you can link Samsung Pay to. So if I didn't have my phone on me and I wanted to pay for something, I could technically grab my watch and just tap it on the card swiper and pay that way, which is really cool. It works with literally almost like any NFC device. On the Galaxy S21, sadly, it doesn't do that same technology where it imitates a card swipe. It still requires a tap to pay device at a retail store, which sadly they got rid of that, but it's all good. Samsung Pay is amazing. Go check it out.
Okay, so the next tip on this list is going to be the adaptive blue light filter, also known as Eye Comfort Shield. You can get to this by scrolling down onto your notification panel, and it shows you all your different little settings right here. So you go under Eye Comfort Shield, hold on that, it'll bring you to this page right here. So what basically you turn this on and then you choose adaptive. So basically what this does is it says automatically adjust your screen's colors based on the time of day. You'll see a minor adjustment during the day and significantly warmer colors at night. This is very similar to the technology based on Apple iPhones, but it's here on Samsung devices. It does the same thing where it'll adjust the color temperature in order to protect your eyes instead of having to automatically adjust it yourself, adjust the orange level. This is great because you just click on and it will adaptively change throughout the day and you don't have to do anything else. So great tip overall to help your eyes.
Tip is really short and pretty straightforward. It's the double tap to open the camera app. You literally just double tap the power button, and then I think this is a default setting actually when you first get the device, but you can turn this off in settings and adjust the double tap on the power button to configure it however you want. But I like to leave it on double tap to open the camera, just because if you want to get a shot really quick, it takes a little while to open the camera app. Realistically, it takes like 1 second, but like this is so quick and it's intuitive. So all you do is double tap the thing and the camera app opens up. Very awesome trick. This is available on like almost every Android as well. A really useful tip that I found is, since I don't like to put a lot of junk or clutter on my home screen, I just want my main apps and some important widgets such as a clock or the weather widget. I like to make my apps really big, not in terms of like for eyesight purposes, but mainly just for, it's a larger app, it's easier to click. I don't have to be as like precise with my clicks if I want to click on an app and open it up. So in order to make your apps larger on the home screen, like you'll see on a lot of new Galaxy devices, when you go into a Best Buy and you can see them, most of the times the apps will be really large. So the way to do that, as you can see, my apps are pretty large on my phone. You want to go to settings, and then home screen, and then you want to go to home screen grid. Basically what this does is it changes how many apps you can actually have on your home screen. When you make it smaller, when you make it a 4x5, it'll actually make the apps larger and fill up more space. So you can do 4x5, 4x6, 5x5, 5x6. 5x6 is the largest, the apps will be absolutely tiny. Don't recommend this. So change it to 4x5, the apps will be very large and they'll be easier to navigate and click on when you're using your phone. So this is another no-brainer tip. It's literally just Dolby Atmos. The speakers on the S21 are absolutely phenomenal. I've said that many times in my previous reviews on this channel, but a lot of people don't know that you can just increase the volume and increase the overall like immersive sound coming from your device if you just turn Dolby Atmos on. Now I don't have it on just because I don't think it's that necessary when I'm watching content, but basically what you can do is go into your main drop down settings that you configure on your phone
and then there'll be a Dolby Atmos one. All you have to do is literally just turn it on. I mean, you can hold it to bring up more settings, so you can just turn it on, and then we have auto, movie, music, and voice. You can configure it to however you want. I just leave it on auto because the phone detects what the best optimal sound settings are for the device based on the content you're playing. Leave it on auto, it's perfectly fine. And you'll notice with Dolby Atmos, not only helps with the speaker output, but also headphone output if you're listening to music with earbuds over the ear or on ear headphones. I never realized how important gestures were on a device until I started using the Galaxy S21. I used to use, on my S9, I used to use the over buttons on the home screen, the home button, the back button, and then the bring up my previous apps button. On here, gestures are life-changing. It helps you interact with the phone in such like a smooth and easy to use way. So in order to do this, it's pretty straightforward. What you want to do is you want to go to settings, and then you want to go into display. Once you go to display, you scroll down and you go to navigation bar right here. So it'll give you the options to do buttons or gestures. You want to choose swipe gestures, and then basically what this does is on the home screen, it'll add a little button here which you can swipe up to go home, and then you swipe up and to the right to bring up previous apps. And then in addition to that, you can swipe left to go back. Really intuitive, really easy to navigate the phone, and I highly recommend gestures over the original buttons. And that's coming from someone who loved the original buttons. So these last three I'm gonna lump together because they all have to do with your display. So I just talked about gestures, which sort of has to do with your display, but the first one is the 120 Hertz. This should come preset out of the box with your S21, but if you wanna conserve battery life, you can turn this off. So same thing with the gestures, you go to display and then you go to motion smoothness right here. So we have two options here. We have adaptive and standard. Adaptive, basically it'll adjust the frame rate. It can go all the way up to 120 Hertz. It won't be 120 Hertz all the time. It can drop down to, I think, as low as 48 in some circumstances, depending on what app you're in and how you're using your phone. But it'll automatically adjust the screen refresh rate. 120 Hertz is amazing, and you can no longer go back to 60 Hertz. It feels like very shaky and stuttery when you're using 60 Hertz coming from 120 Hertz. But if you want to go back to standard and save battery life, you can do so. And that's one way to do it. So the next thing on this list is going to be dark mode. That's also under display. You can do light or dark. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's binary. It's one or the other. Dark mode, not only in my opinion, obviously subjective opinion, looks better and also conserves battery life because when the screen is darker, it's not having to light up the display as much, which won't use as much battery life, which is great if you want to conserve battery life. The battery on this phone is really solid, and I think dark mode can extend your battery even more. The last one in terms of display is vivid mode. This should come default out of the box. If it doesn't for some reason, you can turn it on. So we have two options under screen mode. This is also under display settings. We have vivid and natural. Natural will give more accurate colors, but I don't think they look as good. I think most people and the human eye in general is more attracted to contrasty, saturated colors, which is what vivid mode does. Adds more dynamic range to the overall display, and I think just looks better in my opinion. And they give you some sample photos where you can actually see the difference. Natural is very vivid. Vivid is very vivid with contrasty, punchy colors. Natural, a little more muted, a little more color accurate. It's up to you, and then you can also adjust the white balance. If you're on vivid, you can make the colors a little cooler, or you can make them a little warmer. It's up to you. I just leave it on default, and then we also have advanced settings where you can adjust the RGBs specifically. So that's basically it for the last three tips that overall make your device look a lot better than it originally is. Okay guys, so that's gonna be it for this video on the channel from Scott Tyler. Hope you enjoyed all these tips and tricks on how to make your Galaxy S21 a little better, make the performance overall a little better, help improve the experience a little more as you use your device on a daily basis. So if you guys enjoyed this, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, road to 1,000 subs, giveaway coming shortly at 1,000 subs, giving away a pair of Galaxy Buds Pros to one lucky fan signed by me, and I'll send them out to you guys. That'll probably be done via TikTok for the giveaway. Also go follow me on TikTok. I'm posting a lot of stuff over on there, a lot of tech reviews and stuff like that, some highlights from these actual videos. So I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, everyone.